This Live About 5 is for all the worriers out there. So save this if you're a worrier to come back to as a resource and share this with a friend who might be a worrier too. And so tonight's topic is that it's important not to waste a worry. I have a good friend that always says that to me. Don't waste a worry about that. And it basically means there's no use in worrying about that, right? You're wasting your worries. But if you're someone like me who used to worry, it was like, wow, if that really did help the problem would be great. But here are some statistics about worrying that can help support you working through releasing it. It is that I heard this from Carlos Whitaker today that 85% of worries are completely imaginary. They never even come to fruition. 85%. So imagine if you think about all the time, all the seconds, all the minutes. Yes, I love the movie Rent, every minute, every hour that you have spent worrying. 85% of that was for nothing. Because no one can say that worrying is fun, right? None of us are sitting here stressed out about finances, stressed out about our kids, stressed about our health, stressed about our marriages, stressed about all our parents. What can we do about work? All this for fun, right? So 85% of that never even happens. Of the 15% that actually comes to fruition, 79% of people say that it wasn't as bad as they thought it would be, that they worried kind of for no reason. They handled it better than they thought they would. So that leaves in total 3% of what we worry about coming true. Now, is my hope here that you will just stop worrying altogether because you've heard these statistics? No. But what I hope for us all is that potentially what we can do is when our emotions start to take over, we can lean on a couple of philosophical and statistical facts that are going to help us lose less of our life to worrying. Right, Charlie? Oh, goodness. See, Charlie wants to join us to tell you this is true. So, my first question to you when you're thinking about how we're going to move forward after these statistics is, has it ever helped you to worry? Has it made a difference in the outcome of the issue that you were concerned about, right? So, for example, I could be worried about Charlie, but I'm not because he was just down there pawing to get up, right? But I do worry about him sometimes. I worry about, am I feeding him enough? Is he happy? Is he healthy? How you doing, Char Char? Are you good? Right? And the fact of the matter is, he gets the best food, the best company, the best exercise, and the best care. So I have to have my husband tell me, you need to stop worrying about him. But after tonight, I'm going to pull this post back up and say only 3% of what I'm worrying about will even be an issue here, right? And the other thing I think is important is to realize that worrying is stealing something from us. We don't have unlimited time. We don't have, let's say our day is a pizza. And if you waste 3 slices of that pizza fretting about something that'll never happen, that's something else that you're not doing. So when we're talking about, I don't have enough time to do this, or I don't have enough time to have a hobby, I don't have enough time to read a book, I don't have enough time to exercise, I don't have enough time to grow a business. If you gave up worrying, I bet you would. Right? So I'm going to give you a couple of activities. And the first one is to list the top 5 things that you're worrying about right now. Don't think too hard about it. It could be something small. It doesn't have to be something big. You don't have to justify your worries, right? But just maybe even throughout the week, as you're moving through your week, think to yourself, wow, I'm actually kind of worried about that. That's interesting. I wouldn't have said I was worried about that until I started monitoring my internal dialogue, right? And then I want you to think that only 3% of that list is really going to happen. I want you to strategize. Well, if that really happened, how would I handle it? Because a lot of the times we make up these consequences that are out of scale with our worry, right? I'm really worried that I'm not eating as healthy as I should. Well, what's the natural consequence of that? Maybe you're a little overweight. Maybe you need to move more. Maybe, but what you're worried about is that you're going to die, right? Like, I'm eating poorly, so I'm going to die. Chances are, depending on where you're at, your food is not your biggest worry, right? And so I want you to think about logically when we play out those worries, you know what? That's not really realistic. I'm early 50s. and I'm probably going to be fine. I do want to eat healthier because I want to feel better, and flip that worry on its butt, right? So instead of saying, I'm worried I'm not eating well, think, I'm going to give myself the gift of eating better because I want to feel better. I'm going to give myself the gift of an hour every week to read a book because I love reading and I deserve that gift. And I'll guarantee you it'll bloom more. So it's tracking your top 5 worries and it's seeing what the natural outcome is and whether you can flip it on its head. And if you do that this week and you save this post and share it with a worrying friend, the chances are that you're going to be able to come back to it and hear the sound of my voice and realize it's not very logical. What we're worrying about isn't impacted by our worries, but that we can take action instead, that we can be proactive instead, and that we can stop letting worrying steal our lives. Because this month is all about reaching our goals. And every minute that you're stressing, right, you're not reaching your goal. So, one of the things I see the most in my coaching practice is people will say, well, my business just isn't where I want it to be. And after a little bit of discussion, we'll realize their business isn't making money. And that's where the real stress is, right? And so, how do we get your business to make money? Instead of forming some big, multi passionate, 7-prong, 12-prong income approach, we need to find one that makes money because that was the actual worry. And we can flip it on its head. And instead of being worried now, we can say, well, how much money do you really need to make? Right? And then it starts becoming tasks that you can achieve because so many people are after that $1 million paycheck when a $400 paycheck a month has been chosen to change 85% of American lives. Imagine if you just had an extra $400 a month. And I can tell you there are 100 ways to earn an extra $400 a month, right? So tonight's job, write down those 5 things you're worrying about. Let's start flipping them into positives and let's stop worrying because it doesn't help anybody, especially us and what we're worrying about. I love you guys so much. I can't wait to see you back here tomorrow where we're going to talk about more ways that we're going to be moving towards our goals in January. Take care and have an amazing night.